our Irish Chair is a new exhibition in our National Museum of Ireland Country Life, which we're terribly excited about for a number of reasons. It's the first time that our collection of 16 chairs of this Sligo Chair have been on display in the exhibition area. So we have chairs that came into the collection in the 1930s that have yet never been on display that people can come to the museum and see. But also on top of that, we've done some fantastic work with students from GMIT Letterfrack who have done their own interpretation of this iconic chair, and that's on display as well. So you can see that great tradition of craft and design in Ireland coming through the ages and a contemporary look and feel of it as well.
I need to know, what is the Tuam or Sligo Chair?
Well, the Tuam and Sligo Chair is very distinctive. When people see it, they kind of recognise it, but they don't know where they recognise it from. So the features of it is it has a straight back. It's a leg and a back, and then it has a triangular shaped seat, but it's actually made from 4 pieces of wood, and then it has 2 front legs. So it's a 3-legged chair, which people think, oh, that reminds me of something, but they can't quite remember, but they've seen it, and they are around the west of Ireland today. They've been made in the Tuam area for the last 100 years, but they date back much older than that. So some people talk about the first one being documented in 1820, and some people go back much further, and some people go back 800 years or 2,000 years in some cases. So it's one of these chairs that's kind of a little bit of mystery about its origins, which is kind of intriguing and interesting to people, and yet it is this beautiful, simple design that almost modern designers are looking for, and yet there it was all along in our homes.
And what's the Sligo Connection?
So the Sligo Connection is the first kind of recorded piece of it. It was in 1820 in what was the Dublin Penny Journal, and it recorded a drawing of the chair and a description, and at that time saying it was a very, very ancient chair, and it was recorded in Sligo. So that's where I got the Sligo bit. And then in more recent times, as I said, maybe particularly in the last 100 years, it's been associated with Tuam, where it's been made and continues to be made today. So the last of the traditional makers were in the Tuam area, and they kind of kept the tradition alive. So it has these 2 names, and we're very diplomatic, and we call it Sligo Tuam.
Now, what is interesting, as you say, is when you look at the student work from Letterfrack, GMIT, it almost looks like a very modern piece of work, and yet it's something of a long tradition.
It's a long tradition, and as you say, it has that modern and ancient feel. So W.B. Yeats, he had chairs of this type made for his Tour Ballylee home in 1919. More recently, as you say, designers of today and tomorrow are looking at this chair and finding something classic, something eternal, and people respond to it very warmly. So it is a much loved chair.
And finally then, how long will it be on display here in Turlough, and can people come and see them?
Yes, as you know, Teresa, the museum is free and open to all. We're open 10 to 5 Tuesday to Saturday, and from 1 to 5 on Sunday and Monday, and this exhibition will run till September 2022.
I've been making it for 45 years about.
It's a long time. You must be quite the craftsman. Tell us about how you first got interested in this particular shape of a chair.
I went into a workshop of LOD. He was thinking of using that kind of a chair as one of his chairs that would be of a traditional design. And has a little workshop, very small, just himself and a couple of young lads. And I came in there because I had a little bit of experience. I learned quite a lot, so he wasn't a carpenter at all or a woodworker, but he was trying to do this work. So I started there, and 20 years I was there, and it started from nothing really. He had one of those chairs, and it was coming apart, and we took it apart anyway, and copied the shapes that were on it, and that was how I made the first chair.
Is it a difficult chair to make?
Well, it's difficult enough. Yeah, the hardest one would be the back leg. That's a 6-inch wide by 4-inch piece, cut to shape. That's I'd say the biggest part of it. You know, it's difficult enough. You cannot do anything much with it, with machines or anything like that. You kind of have to do it the way it was originally.
The gift is in your hands.
And use the hand tools a lot, the old-fashioned hand tools.
About how many chairs do you think you've made over your lifetime?
I was trying to figure that out. And in my own little workshop where I spent my last 25 years about, I reckon 1,700 and something. I give a rough look now in case I might be asked that. But I have 1,750 or something. I was close to it now to what I would have made.